Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Friday, guys. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as seasoned. I got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Friday, chosen ones. It's Friday. So, guys, let's talk about a very, all caps, very profound, clear, precise download that I received. I was going to specifically say chosen ones, but for some reason, I got convicted to also say it. Okay, so definitely chosen ones. And many chosen people have experienced what I'm about to say to those of you who maybe don't feel like you're chosen, or maybe you don't know that you're chosen yet, or just whatever. But you're the person who've experienced so much hell in your life. We're not speaking about a bad season, if you will. We are speaking to the people like your childhood was horrible. Maybe your school days were horrible. You didn't fit in. You were rejected. You were bullied. Your first love rejected you, crushed you. Your first heartbreak. You try to finally get yourself together, and then maybe you got married because you fell in love for the first time. That person left you or hurt you. You got fired from a job for no reason. The point I'm trying to make is that your life from the very beginning up until now has been some kind of hell. And that's not to say you didn't have great seasons, if you will, because seasons rotate, seasons changes. But I'm trying to really capture what I feel in my spirit. It's almost like, you know how you can meet a person, which is probably most people, and it's like their life is just so cookie cutter, where you over here are constantly battling with storms, fierce attacks all of your life of some sort. You've always had to fight. You've always had people who were jealous of you, who always tried to took you down. You had friends who betrayed you. I'm speaking to those group of people. But for some reason, when I started this and I said chosen ones, I got kind of convicted to say, well, yeah, chosen ones experience the same thing too, but maybe this person don't consider themselves chosen, and I want you to speak to them as well. Okay. It is time to be free. It is time to be all caps free. This is a new season. And I'm sure if you're spiritually sensitive, you feel it. You feel it in the spiritual realm. There is a shift. There is a new season, and some indications of that is you are just tired. You are tired of the same recycling of the same level, same hurt, same pain, same traumas of all sorts. You're tired. Now, maybe you said you were tired all of your life, right? Those are just words. When we say things like, I'm just tired, I'm just tired, I'm just tired. And we are when we say it at that time. But there's a difference. And when you're just tired of nonsense and you're just tired of fighting and you're tired of this, you're tired of trauma triggers, you're tired of being in bondage of many sorts. And then there's a difference when your soul is tired. When your soul is tired, you finally came to the end of yourself. A lot of the times we don't make changes until we get tired of ourselves. Like you're tired of being used, you're tired of being abused, you're tired of being betrayed, and the list goes on. You're just tired of it. You're tired. Maybe you were a guy and you were raised in a very toxic household, and maybe you heard things from your mother like you'll never be anything, you're just like your dad, you're stupid, you're this, you're less than a man, all this stuff, right? So that's all trauma based. Yet you became the successful one. Now, truly, you have every right, right? Your choice. You have every right to go on and never look back. Just go find your happiness because you've never had it in childhood. So you have every right to go on and find your happiness the minute you graduate and create the happy life that you never had. But instead, you still chose to take care of the very people, the very family who hurt, harmed, and rejected you. Then you entered a marriage just to have a woman who is similar to the very mother who traumatized you cheat on you or leave you. I don't know who this is for, because this story is going all the way left. Or this example, I should say. Just to go through the divorce, and the very woman who cheated on you took everything you worked so hard for. Now you can't even afford to take care of maybe your mother and the other family members who you were taking care of prior to this divorce. And now they're trying to make you feel like you're a failure because your mother is sick, or you can't pay for your mother's mortgage anymore. And these same people are the very people who traumatized you are now judging you yet again, forgetting about what you've done all these years, when really you could have chose to just focus on you. So now these same people are back being judgmental. Now what are they doing? They're hitting that trauma wound. So now you have the rejection of the marriage or the wife, the rejection of the family member. All of these people are coming at you because maybe you lost a job, or again, you're not really as successful because of what you went through in the divorce. And all of these same people have forgotten everything you've done, how much you've sacrificed. Just to drop you. Ungrateful. Never acknowledge. And now you're in full-blown depression. Trying to find anything and everything to soothe that pain. Addictions. Weed, alcohol, sex, porn, etc., etc. Women in rotation, just trying to ease that pain and all the trauma, not from the divorce, but in addition to all the childhood traumas. And after each woman in rotation, once she leaves, you feel even more and more empty and depleted. Now, that's for a number of reasons. For one, when you're dealing with certain type of women, I don't care how fine she is, if her spirit is not right, she's going to suck your spirit dry and further deposit her trauma into your spirit that's already traumatized. And so on, and so on, and so on. In addition to the one that's coming this weekend, in addition to. But with all of that, no pun intended, with all of that, you're still empty. You still feel unappreciated. Those words from childhood are still playing in rotation. You're nothing, you're a failure, you're this, you're that, you just be like your dad, this, that, and third. It's time to be free, bro. Sis. Now, please hear me well. These are all downloads that are downloading now. I don't even know who I'm speaking to. I have no idea. If this is your story, I don't even know you. Promise you, I don't know you. I'm just speaking what's downloading. My windows are up. You guys know I live in the forest. My windows are up and these downloads are pouring in. Sis, people can, listen, I promise you guys. Typically, I don't really have notes. I kind of just go with the flow, but I had notes this morning. Now, granted, the whole subject, honestly, topic was be free, but these examples are currently downloading that I'm not even speaking on the other stuff, but I want to really try my best to speak on those. If not, I'll make a second recording. But for some reason, these examples keep downloading. Sis, people can only give us what they have. There's a lot of people who are upset with their parents, and please hear me well. I'm not making any excuses if you had crappy parents. That people tend to say things like, well, even if she had a bad mother, even if he had a bad father, then that should have made them treated me differently. Well, it just depends. It depends. Remember, we all have different genetic makeups. So when you hear people say things like, well, I've heard the story many times. I don't even know if it's a true story or maybe somebody just said it and it kind of just ran with it. I don't know. That a father who's an alcoholic have two sons. One is an alcoholic himself, turned into an alcoholic himself, and the other never had a drink in his life because he saw what it done to his childhood. So he went a whole different direction. And then it's almost like people want to judge the one who became the alcoholic and compare the two. I truly get the perspective. I get the concept. Again, I'm a person who can see so many different perspectives at one time. I get it. Truly, I do. But you must understand there's a different perspective. We all have a different kind of makeup. We all process trauma differently. So maybe the son who went on to become an alcoholic was way more sensitive. He felt more. It disturbed him more. Chosen ones, you guys should know this because we get disturbed more when we are mishandled because we're spiritually sensitive. We feel deeply. So it's almost unfair to try to put two people and say they both should have took this direction. That's not for us to say. I've learned to stop judging people who are I'm going to go left there. But the point is we don't know. We don't know everybody's story. Something could have happened to the one who followed the steps of the alcoholic. He could have been abused in school and the other one was not. So it's so many different perspectives that you must consider. So I say all that to say, if your parent was not a great parent, rather than lock on and hold on to the fact that they hated you, they never loved you, and I'm not saying that that's not true, but the enemy will truly try to pound you with that and have you lock onto that belief, and that may not even be the story. Maybe it is. Different perspective. Maybe that mother was raped, sexually abused, just raised in crack houses. Adults sold her, traumatized. Don't even want to have a second to live in reality. So she's a crackhead. Maybe never had intentions on being a crackhead. I personally, this is me, I personally believe addictions are a choice to start it. It becomes a disease once your body is chemically dependent on it. So who knows? Some bum slipped something in the weed, but it was crack. Maybe she knew it was crack. Who knows? But the point of the matter is she's a full-blown crackhead. All of her childhood, she hated you. She stole the money. You guys were homeless. You had to go from family house to family house. Maybe you got molested in all the households. Your life has been hell. You even had to raise the other siblings because either you were the responsible one or the oldest one. Don't even know where your father is. So all of your life, you had to fight, including from childhood. Now you just try to move on with life. You become teenager, right? Remember, you're traumatized. If that trauma was not caught early on and dealt with early on through therapy, things like that, and many times in our community, it is not. So we're moving in survivor mode. So all we know is survivor mode. So then you end up with certain type of dudes because of the abandonment wound from your father not being there. They abuse you, they cheat, they do this, that, and the third. Okay, so that's trauma adding on to trauma. Now here you are as an adult trying to have a healthy, wholesome relationship or marriage. Where did you learn it from? Who taught it? So you're repeating the same things that you saw maybe your mother do or your mother accepted. You're probably still having the very siblings that you had to take care of in childhood, still depending on you, even though they're 57, you're taking care of everybody else. Everyone else is good except you. Taking care of grown men, because if you don't take care of this grown man who has absolutely nothing going for himself, he will leave you just like your father did. And the saga continues. Every relationship or every marriage, it turns out to be the same thing. The same thing. People are ungrateful. They take advantage of you. They use you. It's a disaster. It's a whole zoo, honey. And we can give 30 more stories, but nothing else is downloading in my head. But I guess you guys get the point on how different aspects can really affect our adult lives. It is time to be free. It is time to break away from traumas and bondages of all sorts. This can be family. This can be friends. This can be marriages. I'm just saying. I'm just the messenger. Get in where you fit in. Take everything to the Holy Spirit. When the season shifts and God is ready to elevate you, or there's a new season for your life, again, you start to see things drying up. The feelings dry up. The desire dry up. You get to the point where you're just tired. Your soul is tired. But sometimes you have no way out. You have no way out. You know you're tired. You know you want something new. But the bondage have you tied, especially if it's a narcissist. You must intentionally invite the Holy Spirit in. See, usually once you get to this point, you've come to the end of yourself. At this point, you know there's absolutely nothing you can do. Even if you thought you knew everything all of your life, at this point, when your soul is tired and you have nowhere, it's like everything is stagnant. You feel like God is silent. You're about to lose your mind. And it's like, what is... At this point, you've come to the end of yourself. And it's very easy to surrender when your soul is tired. So a few things can happen to this popping up. God will create some kind of scenario physically, again, where everything is drying up. That looks like job loss. That looks like divorce, losing everything, going completely broke. I mean, everything is dried up. including your mind almost. So many times he'll dry it up, hoping that you will ask, or hoping that you will get in alignment, meaning agreement. Like, okay, Lord, at this point, I don't care if you take me to Chinatown. Where's Chinatown? I know there's one in New York, but I don't because I don't even know where that is. I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't care if you take me to Chinatown. I don't care. I don't care if I have to go with $1 in the bank. I don't care if I have to leave everything and start over. I just need to be free. Ding, 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 ding. Congratulations. You've come to the end of yourself. You fully surrendered, my child. Now you can hear my directions rather than you creating your own blueprint in a lane that is no longer working for you or will work for you ever again. So because you're in alignment, now remember, it's a partnership. We have a part to play. So, bro, no distractions. All the women in rotation, right? Ask for strength for discipline because you must be in alignment in order to hear your downloads. So the trauma, see, is more easy to be distracted with stuff because healing hurts. Because when you're healing or dealing with trauma, it requires you to sit in it, meaning there's no distraction. You can't use things to mask or cover up the pain. So this is an intentional decision to be disciplined. Even if you have to turn your phone off for 1 week because porn is going to trigger you to X, Y, and Z, it's an intentional decision because you know you need to hear from God. So distractions must cease. So, okay, boom, you're now in alignment. No distractions. You're in solitude of whatever sort. Now God's bringing something back to your mind. Remember 3 years ago when you thought about moving to Florida and you were just kind of just looking at the websites, just thinking like, one day maybe I would want to live in Florida with the family, Remember the wife, I would maybe want to live in Florida one day with the family. And this is before the divorce, of course. However, that seed was planted for a reason. See, God drops seeds in our spirit. We must recall these things. We must not ignore them when they rise back up in our spirit. Many things come across as seed form. So now the enemy will tell you, well, that was for you and your wife and your kids. Bro, she done got a whole new man. Why are you going to Florida? Don't worry about that. You got to rebuke him because he's petty, right? He'll really tell you things like, guys, I'm sorry. He's really petty. He'll tell you things like that. So then you feel like, well, how do I know that's God? How do I know that's not a familiar spirit? Take the step. I'm a firm believer. This is just me now. When you feel like you've prayed and truly like you've sat with it and you really believe that it's God nudging you, like for real, like you really believe it. You're not moving on impulse. If you move on impulse, the enemy is going to clip you up or attempt to. But you really feel like God is telling you, Florida, start applying for the very jobs here that you were supposed to apply for years before the divorce. If it's God, things will literally fall like dominoes, meaning it's easy. Not only did one job call you back, 5 called you back. You got choices at this point. Remember, we're in a season of favor. We're in Kairos moments. This is a new shift. When it's a new shift, it's favor because this is the season for the chosen ones And those who've been harmed and had to fight all of their life, this is a season of favor. So things are going to work for you very easily. But you must give God something to work with. He's not going to come and knock on your front door and say, hey, come on, pack up, let's go to Florida. No, he's going to give you, tell me why, I see a whole picture, honey, of boxes on the floor and Jesus is like literally knocking on your front door. Take the step. All right, now these people call you back and say, hey, okay, now you got 3 interviews lined up. So you go down to Florida just to see. Now, mind you, the enemy is still going to be playing in your head about, oh, well, you'll be there by yourself and you don't have anybody. Well, first of all, where you currently are, do you have support there? That's the whole point of you leaving. Nobody even supports you there. They don't even care. They're ungrateful. In the new season, the land where God is showing you, it's people already there waiting for you. It's God ordained. Now you drive down there. Check out the jobs. People give you job offers. You got choices. Now the Holy Spirit guides you and say, go look at these apartments. Go look at this, that, and third. Boom, favor. You have nothing on paperwork that even makes sense. You don't even have a job. You got $1 in the bank account, remember? Favor. There's somebody there that's going to be God ordained, that God chooses to favor you over every other applicant. And now, boom, there's a place for you to stay. It's easy. You see how easy it is where when you were wherever you were, everything was resistance. Now you come back home with this whole mindset that you're packing, you're moving to Florida. Now everything is going to come against you because the enemy don't want you there, remember? Now you're going to have the very people who are ungrateful, who've traumatized you, a narcissistic mother, an ex-wife, who are now going to try to make you, well, your kids. Sis, did you think about the kids before you cheated? Right? First of all, in order for me to be a great father, I need to be great for myself in order to be great for them. How am I going to send them money by remaining here and I have no job? Let me be free. I'll send for my kids. However that looks. Healthy co-parenting. The very narcissistic mother, well, how am I going to pay? This. You're the only one who I can depend on. Respectfully so. Please. By all means. Now, I'm a firm believer this is just me. I mean, I have great parents, thank God, but I know that's not everybody's story. I'm going to take care of mine. I'm just, now, again, I have great parents. So I don't want to be insensitive to someone truly who maybe have had really, really bad parents. But I think it's almost like love and respect, but boundaries. And I know I can hear somebody now say, why would I respect somebody who's a crackhead? Why? I get it. But still, it's with boundaries. You gotta let God tell you what your boundaries are. Meaning, don't even answer your phone. Only have a conversation once a month. This is just examples. Only have a conversation once a month. Matter of fact, don't even go to family functions, right? But mind your mouth. Mind your mouth. If it's getting to that point, just get off the phone and don't answer the phone for another 3 weeks. So whatever you choose, right? You may be done. Meaning you want to be free. You don't want to ever look back. And there's people who've done that. One of you guys emailed me, like you're in Australia, and honey, you've cut all ties with with everything. And you say you are the freest you've ever been. By all means, do what you do. Just if you leave well. Leave well. If you choose to still make sure you do this, that when you leave, have firm boundaries. I don't care who's in need. 13 of y'all in the household, really, I'm only supposed to be taking care of my mom, yet she keeps letting all this toxic you got another brother or sisters who are heavily on drugs, and you've told your narcissistic mother that this other grown man shouldn't be living with her and eating her food. Honey, no matter what you say to her, she's going to do what she want to do. This is the whole point. This is the whole point. Be free. Your messages, your frustration, your yelling, your this, trying to make her see that the very son that she was her favorite in childhood, who's a crackhead, the one who was treated poorly and rejected, is the one who have to take care of not only her, but the other one she's favored who's drying her out. Make it make sense. Sadly, many times that's the life of the chosen ones. But it does not give excuses for not having boundaries. All right, I'm moving to Florida. I don't care what any of y'all say at this point here. I am done. I spent 75 years in trauma. I spent 75 years being these visions are popping up in my head. I see a 75-year-old man in a family meeting, honey. He's pointing his finger at his mama. I'm tired. If I only got 15 years left, honey, I'm going to make this fit because I deserve to finally be free and happy in these 15 years. I am going to Florida. I am sending you $300 per month. I'm just saying. Whatever you do with that is up to you. If you want to let him steal the 300 and go buy crack, let him do what he do, but don't call me for any more. Firm boundary. See, this is how you demand change, because at some point, people have to become accountable. See, people only do what we allow them to do. Now, any other time he steals the money, listen, guys, I know you're annoyed because I'm annoyed. And I'm immune to it. But please, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But the enemy really wants me to start this, because when it starts going off like that, I'm quick to start the recording over. But I cannot right now because I feel like I'm really flowing somewhere. Please bear with me. Satan, I rebuke you. Get up off of my phone. I don't even know who that is, honey. Hope I'm rebuking the wrong person, right? But people only do what we allow them to do. So any other time when he stole the money, she'll call you crying for, well, Jack stole the money. And you right there sending the 300. No. Boundaries. This is how you free yourself. You free yourself by cutting everything off and go be free. Or you free yourself by going but having firm, stern boundaries. If you choose to, Before you leave. Oh, I give an example, meaning God will dry everything up. The second example is he will snatch that rug. Now, it's way more easy to go with the first, meaning he dries it up, he makes you very uncomfortable, and you just take a step out on faith, even though it's hard. Because when he snatched that rug, it's almost like he's really trying to save you. And he knows that you're struggling and that you would never go, but he's really trying to take you higher because you deserve it. But he knows you're struggling. Or you could just be making your head hard. But whatever the case may be, when he snatches that rug, honey, he snatches your edges and your hairline. That rug snatch, because see, mentally, you're really not prepared for it. With the first example, you get mentally prepared. You come in alignment. But when he snatches the rug, you haven't even come in alignment yet. So he snatches that rug from under you and everything goes crazy. That can look like the very family that he's trying to pull you from. These are examples. The very family that he's trying to pull you from. Something happened. A big family reunion happened, honey. You paid for the family reunion. You took all the food. You were just happy as a what is it called? A Cheshire cat? I've heard that saying. Happy as a oh my goodness, God. I don't know. Happy as a cat, honey. And something happens. Maybe too many red cups were involved. Something happens. And everybody flips on you. Mind you, you're the one who holds everything down. You're the one You're like the rock of the family, if you will. Remember, you took care of your 12 siblings because your parents were crackheads, and you still take care of them as adults. And they all flip on you because, I don't know, a cousin in the family said something to you. You went off and they all side with the cousin. Honey, the ultimate betrayal. And that's one of the worst kind of betrayal is when the people who you look out for is they flip on you for somebody else. That's a hurtful feeling. But it's not that God caused it, because he didn't tell y'all to get them red cups involved. It's not that he caused it, but he will allow it. Because you're going to be so broken. Your feelings are going to be so hurt. And you're finally going to have this meltdown. You're going to finally see people for truly who they are, because you assume that if anything ever goes down, they're going to have your back like how you would have their back. So they prove themselves. So boom. You finally had this aha moment, this wake up call, and you're like, you know what? Peace out. Peace out. Y'all figure this thing out for the rest of your life. And now you're in alignment. But look how you had to get there, right? But you're in alignment, and now the same scenario as the first example. Things start to unfold from you. He will give you, he'll show you the land. He may have already shown it to you, or sometimes the land is something you never even thought about, right? But he will show you the land, because again, wherever the land is, he's going to give you the promptings. And then when you follow the promptings and the instructions, things will start to unfold. Now, either way, let it be the first example or the second, it's going to drop you. It's going to break your heart. Either example, because remember, these are trauma bonds. You're bonded because of trauma. So even though it's unhealthy, it's all you've known. Especially if it's a narcissist, because if it's a narcissist, he's going to require you to cut off flying monkeys that you may still be very fond of. There's a lot he's going to require you to leave behind. It's almost like you're going to be leaving this old life behind, but you have to start new, but you're starting from scratch. And it's change can be very, very uncomfortable. But remember, there's grace and favor. So let your heart break. You may have to go through a quick healing season, but there's grace. So that healing season may be pretty rapid, because there's an acceleration. He needs you to heal faster, because now he's ready to get you on this new path. When you arrive to this land, wherever this land is for you, that can be a new state, a new country, a new home, whatever it is, whenever you arrive to this new land, there are people already there who's ordained to favor you. These people will be eager to help you. These people believe in reciprocity. So that loyalty that you gave out is going to be reciprocated. You're going to meet your soul tribe. You're going to meet God-ordained connections that may even feel more powerful and more connected, sometimes more than blood. That quote unquote, blood to stick in the water. Okay. Just depends. Just depends on who it is. When you first arrive, you're going to have immense favor. So there's a great chance, again, you're going to have a job really quickly, a home really quickly. Things are going to start out really, really well, because God wants to make sure you're stabilized. It is the foundation. But things are going to get quiet for a while. That is when the enemy is going to really, really challenge you. Now he's going to make you feel like you made a mistake, because now you got there, things are quiet. Now things are good. You got a job, you got a home. But remember, you're used to trauma. You've been exposed to trauma all of your life. It's too quiet. It's too peaceful. You need some foolishness. Remember the instructions that God gave you before you left. If he told you, don't do this when you get there, don't pick that porn addiction back up, don't do the whatever he told you, stick with those. Again, when the enemy tries to send you back, first of all, you can't even go back, because it's almost like once you answer the call, God's like, he clips that bridge and you can't even go back. Like he makes it, well, I mean, we got free will. We can always push past things, but it's almost like he will make it difficult for you to go back. He knows you're struggling. He knows the enemy is trying to get up in your head. Now your ex-wife, right, who left you, now her marriage didn't work out. Now here she goes calling you back. Please don't be. God did not take us forward to go backwards, but he's going to, and because you're used to your ex-wife trauma, and because you're only used to trauma in general, she's going to feel more safe, more comfortable to go back to, other than this newness that you still don't even know what God is doing. You're just there. You're just there still waiting. You're probably bored. You're trying to figure out, like, God, why am I even here? Just be still. He sent you to the land early, because many times he'll send you somewhere because he wants your presence to be, your spirit to be in that territory for a reason. Throughout this process, there's going to be a lot that he teaches you before full manifestation from God. You're in alignment to receive it. This is where he's going to rebuild you. Think about it. You came from trauma. You came from trauma. Then you married trauma. So when was the healing season? You never had a healing season. So you're going to have to hit a healing season first. So that's why things are silent. You can't heal in drama. You can't heal in trauma. That's why he pulled you from that environment. Healing is hard. Why do you think most people don't heal? Most people rather stay in trauma. Healing is an intentional decision because you're sick of you. Now, once you go through your healing season, that will probably break you. I mean, that's the whole point, right? But it breaks you. Probably one of the most difficult things you'll ever do, because you're rewiring your brain, your mindset, all that stuff. So he prepares you to receive the manifestation that's on the way. Your purpose, your calling, everything. So he's about to reward you for everything that you should have had all of your life. You should have had a great childhood. You did not. Right? You tried to be faithful for the first time in your life. The wife cheated on you. Then again, listen, I'm about to hit somebody right now. I'm just sorry because it just popped up because I wasn't even thinking about it. I got to insert this really quickly. Hear what I just said. You finally decided to be faithful for the first time, and you got burned. Listen, I'm just going to be real. Good or bad, we reap what we sow. It is what it is. I just had to say that. And I think I had to say it because it will make healing not easy, but a little more easy when you can think back, like, you know what? I made somebody feel the same kind of pain many times. Now you know what it feels like. Now you'll think twice. But most importantly, you will have that character change when your God ordained blessings show up. So my friends, it's your season. Be free. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.